A pair of speakers from one of Britain's most celebrated hi-fi companies is sitting on a warehouse shelf right now, between the paper towels and the protein bars. Half the price the manufacturer charges everywhere else. Nobody pushing a cart past them has any idea what they are looking at. That is what this video is about. 7 pieces of real hi-fi hiding in the least likely store in the hobby, counting down to the one that made specialists nervous. First, why do these gold mines exist at all? Because Costco does not make its money the way a normal store does. The profit comes from the membership card, not the markup on the shelf. That single fact changes the math on everything the store touches. When a company moves product at that kind of volume, manufacturers meet price points that no specialty dealer would ever accept. And there is something quieter happening underneath. A handful of genuinely serious audio companies have decided they would rather sell 10,000 honest units through a store nobody respects than 1,000 through a store that does. The engineering does not care where the shelf is. It performs exactly the same under fluorescent lighting as it does on a walnut display stand with a spotlight on it. And there is one more weapon nobody in the audio world talks about: Costco's satisfaction guarantee. Speakers are not specifically listed under the 90-day electronics exception. That potentially means unlimited returns, no restocking fee, no receipt required. You are effectively getting a risk-free home audition that no hi-fi dealer on earth will match. And now, the thing to walk past. Because it matters. The front of Costco's electronics aisle is a wall of soundbars and Bluetooth party speakers, flashy boxes, massive wattage claims, LED light shows built to catch your eye from 30 feet away. Understand what those wattage numbers actually are. They are peak and PMPO figures, the same inflated measurement trick the industry has been running since the 1970s. A speaker that honestly produces 20 watts of clean sound might be advertised at 200. Those products are not hi-fi. They are lifestyle accessories with a subwoofer bolted on. Walk past them. Everything worth your money is sitting behind them, quieter, less flashy, and ignored by almost everyone pushing a cart through that aisle. Number 7, and it is the least glamorous thing on this entire list: the Klipsch KD-51M passive bookshelf speakers, around $150 for the pair. Klipsch is an 80-year-old American speaker company. Horn-loaded tweeters are their signature. High efficiency, low distortion, the same core technology sitting inside their $5,000 flagship towers. These use a version of that exact same engineering. Passive means they need a separate amplifier to drive them. And that is not a flaw. It is a feature. It means you choose what powers them, and they grow with your system instead of being locked to whatever cheap chip the factory soldered in. MDF cabinet, front-ported for flexible placement, with 160 watts of peak handling from a pair that fits on a bookshelf. The fair caveat, and it is a real one. These are entry-level Klipsch. The fit and finish will not be confused with the reference Premier line, and the low end is not going to rattle any furniture. But for a first real pair of speakers, or a second room system, the engineering per dollar is genuinely absurd. Klipsch horn technology for the price of 2 large pizzas. The boutique down the street would charge you double for a brand you have never heard of with half the pedigree. Number 6, and this one requires careful language because turntables at big box stores have a terrible reputation. Most of them deserve it. The Victrola Eastwood signature is a different animal, around $100 at Costco. Belt-driven mechanism. An Audio-Technica AT-3600L cartridge, a real cartridge from a name that vinyl collectors have trusted for decades. 3-speed support for your entire record collection. The fair caveat, and it is a big one. This is an all-in-one with built-in speakers. The built-in speakers are not the point. Use the RCA outputs or the Bluetooth streaming to send the signal to real speakers and treat the internal ones as a convenience feature you politely ignore. Second caveat. This is not a fluence or a project. There is no adjustable counterweight, no anti-skate dial. It is a starter deck, not an endgame. But here is what matters. That Audio-Technica cartridge tracks your records with dramatically less force than the cheap ceramic needles grinding grooves in the plastic suitcase players at the front of the aisle. As the thing that gets someone spinning vinyl properly for the first time without destroying their collection, at this price, it is a genuine entry point. Number 5, and this is where the list stops being surprising and starts being ridiculous. The Denon AVR-S270BT. Around $299 at Costco, which is a full $100 less than what the manufacturer charges everywhere else. Denon is a heritage Japanese audio company, the same bloodline that built some of the most respected amplifiers and receivers in the entire history of this hobby. And Costco is quietly selling one of their receivers for less than the brand's own retail price. 5 channels, 70 watts per channel at 8 ohms, Dolby True HD, DTS HD master audio, Bluetooth streaming, and guided on-screen setup that actually works. This is a real home theater hub, not a toy. And this was Costco's first ever AV receiver listing. That is a signal worth paying attention to because it means the store is getting genuinely serious about component audio. The fair caveat, and you need to hear it. This is Denon's entry-level model. It uses spring clip speaker terminals instead of proper binding posts, which tells you exactly where the company trimmed to hit the price. And 70 watts measured with 2 channels driven is a very different conversation than 70 watts with all 5 running at once. Here is the watchdog lesson. Read the spec sheet the way the FTC taught you. Watts per channel, impedance, frequency range, distortion, channels driven. That long, boring sentence is still your single best defense against inflated claims. And Denon still prints every word of it. Quick pause here because if this kind of breakdown is useful to you, go ahead and hit subscribe. This entire channel exists to cut through the marketing and tell you what is genuinely worth your money. Now, number 4, and this is a complete high-fidelity system hiding inside a pair of bookshelf speakers. The Klipsch The Fives, around $300 for the pair at Costco. 80 watts RMS per channel of built-in amplification, Klipsch's Tractrix horn tweeter, a 4.5-inch fiber composite woofer, and here is the part that actually matters. A built-in phono preamp with switchable RCA input, HDMI ARC for your television, USB, optical, Bluetooth, and a subwoofer output. That input list means you can plug in a turntable, a TV, a computer, and a phone without buying a single additional component. No receiver, no separate amplifier, no stack of boxes and cables, just speakers and sources. The fair caveat, and it is worth understanding. Powered speakers mean there is no upgrade path on the amplifier side. If that internal amp dies in 15 years, you are not swapping it out. This is an appliance, not an heirloom. Nobody restores one of these in 3 decades. But as the fastest path from absolutely zero to real high fidelity with the fewest possible moving parts, this is one of the smartest products in the entire store. Number 3. A full 7-speaker home theater package from Klipsch for under $1,000. Read that sentence again slowly because the arithmetic should not work. 2 R806FA, floor-standing speakers with built-in upward-firing Atmos drivers, a dedicated center channel, a pair of bookshelf surrounds, and speaker wire included in the box. Klipsch's horn-loaded tweeters across every single piece in the set. The same controlled directivity technology the company has been refining for 80 years, from the floor standers all the way down to the surrounds. The fair caveat, and it is a critical one. This is a 5.0.2 system, which means there is no subwoofer in the box. You need to add one, and you need a receiver to drive all of it. The Denon sitting 2 entries back on this list is not a coincidence. Second caveat, and this is the watchdog in me talking. Buying the R806 FA floor standers separately costs more than this entire bundle. Costco's bundle pricing is where the real math lives, and that math is exactly what you need to check before handing over $1. Always calculate the component by component cost before buying any package deal. The store is counting on you not doing that arithmetic. In this case, the arithmetic actually works heavily in your favor, which is precisely why it earned a spot on this list. Number 2, and now we are talking about serious hardware. The Denon AVR-S970H. Around $600 at Costco, which is consistently $100 to $200 less than what Amazon and Best Buy charge for the same unit. 2 Denon receivers on one list, and this is the one that made me sit up. 7.2 channels. Discrete amplifier stages, meaning each channel gets its own dedicated amplification circuit instead of a shared chip trying to do everything at once. Dolby Atmos, DTSX, 8K capable HDMI across 3 inputs, dual subwoofer outputs, and built-in room correction software that measures your actual space and adjusts the sound to fit it. This is not a starter receiver. This is the kind of component that anchors a serious home theater for a decade. The fair caveat, and it matters more here than anywhere else on this list. A receiver this capable is only as good as the speakers and the room you connect it to. Spending $600 on the brain and then feeding it $40 satellite speakers is like putting racing fuel in a lawnmower, but pair it with the Klipsch 5.0.2 system from the previous entry, add a subwoofer, and you have a legitimate Dolby Atmos home theater assembled entirely from a warehouse store for under $2,000. That sentence should not be possible, and yet here we are. And number 1, the gold mine of the entire list, and the one that makes the specialty shops genuinely uncomfortable. The KEF LSX II LT wireless speakers, around $500 at Costco. The manufacturer charges $1,000 everywhere else. KEF is British audiophile royalty. The company invented the Uni-Q driver, a coaxial design that places the tweeter at the exact acoustic center of the mid-range cone so that every frequency arrives at your ear at the same time from the same point in space. It is one of the most celebrated innovations in speaker engineering, and it sits inside their $15,000 flagship towers. The LSX II LT uses a version of that same Uni-Q driver, 200 watts combined, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. High-resolution streaming up to 24-bit at 384 kHz, USB-C, HDMI ARC, optical input, and a subwoofer output. A complete audiophile-grade streaming system in 2 small boxes. The fair caveat, and there are 2, the LT variant requires a physical cable between the 2 speakers, no wireless pairing between units, which limits your placement flexibility. And there is no analog aux input, so you cannot plug a turntable in directly. These are digital-first speakers built for streaming, but KEF's own retail price is $1,000. Costco has sold them repeatedly at half that, backed by the most generous return policy in all of retail. British audiophile engineering at warehouse pricing with a satisfaction guarantee attached. The store is not the sound. So there they are. 7 pieces of real hi-fi sitting in the most ignored aisle in America. Not one of them is a compromise you settle for. They are engineering priced by volume instead of by prestige. If it were my money, the KEF LSX II LT speakers and a streaming subscription. Under $550 for a system that will embarrass setups costing 5 times as much. Get the speakers to ear height, pull them from the wall, angle them toward your chair, and sit in the triangle. The store is not the sound.